will be available through it. Very cool stuff.
This is a very unique ward compared to anything else. This is the first time we've ever done anything like this, actually. I mean, I guess the Pantheon one is maybe the closest, that it changes based on which Pantheon you have equipped. So this ward skin will display through these 4 tiers, depending on how many Odyssey points you have.
Okay. Yo, that's
owned by the player, so whoever places it will always see that ward for the whole game. And
so it gets cooler as you buy more Odyssey stuff.
Skin, you can see the next version.
Yep.
So
you know what? They got that idea. Come on, he got that idea from Twitch. And you know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, they're gonna put in upgrading. Upgrading badges. Time for upgrading.
There's also very elaborate effects treatment on this particular item too, which is not visible here.
Oh, has it got like flashes and?
That's pretty funny.
Like that? I think it's those.
Does it got effects on it? It's got like fire and like a magic circle.
Listen,
it shoots disco balls and rainbows.
I ain't all special effects. All I look like, oh, does it flash? Does it spin? That's all I care about for the most part.
Does it flash?
If it does those 2 things, I'm down.
Right.
Well, we can see the one in game maybe if Pon has it ready.
That'll be our next ward, flashy spinner.
We don't have any in-game stuff for the time being, so we've got a couple of tech issues to go through. So what I will do is
got a lot of tech issues right now.
Broadcast for the time being. We'll move on to a little bit further ahead past the skins. We'll come back to them momentarily, and we'll move on to what I actually leaked earlier on today is the achievement section. That's right, for you guys at home that knew about it. Vamana has gained some achievements. You all love it at home, really. Vamana, baby smash as Vamana, get a triple kill using your ultimate. That's actually not that easy, guys.
No, that's not.
That's
triple kill.
Triple kill.
No,
during on your game.
During the ultimate.
Yeah, I mean, you do move a little bit quicker. Overall, you know, you're the fastest moving god in the game, but...
That'll be
you better go sprint curse ult if you really want that one, you know, just...
But nobody really cares about the achievements. At least they're getting him out of the way.
You've also got out of my way as Vamana knock up 3
Hey,
more
look at the hour came back up.
the path.
Yo, there is something going terribly wrong right now.
1,000 times easier.
I mean, I don't know about 1,000 times. We're gonna check your numbers.
I don't know how many triples you get, but...
No. I got one the other day. And some guy stole my Quadra.
Doing your ultimate?
But it was an
Stole your
assault.
Quadra? Hope you banned him.
I don't know. I don't remember.
And after that, that's the only achievement this week, just so you guys at home know as well. What I will mention is last week on the miscellaneous section, we did miss a few things off. That's right.
Yeah, good point.
Version 2.0 of Pon.
Yeah, Halloween Pon did forget a couple things that were just from last patch. These are already in the game, so we just want to talk about them briefly before we get into the rest of the patch. But it is the jungle practice updates.
Yes.
So now if you go in jungle practice, you will find 2 new pads, one of which will change your team. So if you want to queue jungle practice with a friend and test abilities against each other, one of you can step onto the pad and become part of the enemy team. You guys can fight, you can test.
What if you don't have a friend?
If you do not have a friend, you can, you know, go to Twitter or our Smite or Twitch and find somebody to party up with.
So that's where you get your friends from, AJ.
Sure, you know, whatever. Of course.
I see. What was the other change?
The other change is the cooldown pad. Okay. So this is one we've been requesting for a while.
Yes.
This is what we want to make sure. So if you use your ultimate, you want to test your ultimate many, many times. The timing, the aiming. Just fire it, step onto the pad, fire it, step onto the pad. As many times as you want.
So 2 people in jungle practice to switch and change teams.
That's actually nice for jungle practice. The whole point of that is to be able to test that kind of stuff. So that's pretty nice.
That's right. Not only that, if you've not noticed as well, I'm going to save some time as well. Don't forget that Corner skin is on sale in the chest right about now, so make sure you go and do that while you're waiting for the next. We
had one more change last patch that we forgot to mention as well.
Oh yeah.
And that is the pet timers.
Ooh.
So now over the top of pets' heads near their health bar, you will see a black and white timer bar that will wind down over the duration of the pet. So you can use this to judge how long Bastet cats are still going to be alive chasing you, you know, decide whether or not you want to fire abilities on them.
That's pretty nifty.
So you can see the actual cooldown of it.
Everybody will be able to see how long the pets are lasting. This
is
where clay soldiers, arachne spiders, new pets, etc.
Okay, so if we cut back to Pompon's picture right now, you'll see he's moved because we've forced him to go and fix the issues in the back room, and now we should be able to bring you.
Here we go.
Once more. So if we go back to Ymir,
do it up for me.
We should be able to do it. This
is the cool Ymir skin.
Is Baron and Frostchild Ymir.
I don't have to make the sound effects myself anymore.
Let's listen to the voice pack, please.
Oh, bravo! I admire your zeal. There can only be one Baron. Marvelous! Attack left lane. Defend middle lane.
That's a good voice.
Oh, bravo, bravo!
That's what his voice should sound like. I love it. I love it.
Attractive waste of time. Good grief, man. Put some decent clothes on. Of course my family has a coat of arms. Doesn't every family? And I like my enemies like Americans like their cup of tea. Weak.
Oh, that was good. That was good.
That was for you.
That was good.
Dude.
Shots fired. Tina, if that was you, I love you.
That's a Tina home run right there.
That's because I fired shots out last week. That's why.
So I love this one because it's like Ymir's voice, but he's all fancy and proper now, so it's just super fun.
Hit him with the basics again.
Oh, do it more.
I'm going to hit more strums.
More.
Prepare yourself.
I believe our audio guys had to actually smash a cello to get that audio just perfect. Oh yeah, it's a minor price to pay.
Now this is the bonus collection item as we mentioned, but we should be able to move on to the next one, which is Igneous Terror. Which
cost of skin plus.
Is it igneous? Am I saying that right?
Cost of 1
Yes,
jello.
igneous. It's a type of rock that forms from
God,
I thought it was, but I don't know sometimes because
material.
That's
lore and
so
gods and things always confuse me.
hot.
And geology and science.
This
All
I'll go away
this
now.
card art just turned out amazing.
Yeah.
I'll go away now. I'll sit here for a while.
Right in all the right places.
I deserve
and
that
you can see
one.
that in game as well. Comes with a voice pack.
My bad.
And, I do love the animations on the abilities on this one for sure as well.
Yeah, this is great. We want Terra. You know, she's very helpful and kind, and even her lore. You know, she's kind
Is
of.
that a butt crack?
So
There's a
like
butt crack.
angry,
Never mind. I'm back in the game, folks. I'm back in the game.
worked across the board for us. Everybody.
Not
about this one.
We're back in,
Basically,
friends.
friendly.
We're back in.
Yeah, a lot less.
We
friendly
got butt
overall
crack.
here. Was it very difficult to like have an iterated Chuck
Fisher
into
crack?
this sort of form based off what she was originally?
It was a little tricky, but I don't know. It's
I don't know. The only
changed up the
problem-
personality a little bit.
The only problem I have with
think
this
the-
skin is it
the
looks less.
color of everything came out really nice,
thick.
and I don't know. It's just
I don't
it's
know.
a very cool.
She
very
looks
different
tinier.
skin
Maybe
for
she's
her,
not,
so.
but just like the way the
Says that she
artwork's
looks
done,
fat.
she looks thinner.
Fishman.
Hey,
So I
he
had
made
to
the
go there.
joke. He made the joke
Well, we should
after
be
I
able to show
did.
some
Hey.
abilities as well now. On top of that, the first
I
one,
don't know.
I love these walls.
Oh
Just
my
leave the walls up.
god,
Oh,
that's cool.
don't even-
That explode though.
Jeez.
It looks just like the fire giant pit. Is what it reminds me of.
Oh
I
my
want to see them
god,
slam them
that's
together
cool.
again.
Now also notice
Just
her
Damn,
her lava
dude, that's
changes
so
color based
freaking
on
sick.
her state.
Does it?
her skin. To reflect the base Terra actually grows some spikes when she has her passive activated. This Terra has a color change in the lava when she has her passive activated. So see, it's very different, white, orange, yellow when her passive is activated, and then when the walls go away.
Damn, dude.
Awesome.
She brightens up.
So if she's yellow, she can't be knocked up. What's that? Look at the lava. What's that we see there?
We got a sweet molten puddle.
The liquidy effects really worked
Oh,
amazingly on
man,
this skin
that's
check.
cool.
It does look fantastic.
That's so
It's the
sick.
same old ultimate as you'll kind of see, but it's got rocks around you so you can see the passive.
Dude,
If you get hit 4 times,
this is one of
will
the
be
coolest
consumed,
skins they've
and
done
then
in
it
a
will give you a
while.
heal as well.
But not, cooler because it's
And then the
lava,
voice
but
pack
like,
as well, I
You
believe.
get what I'm saying.
Yes!
Haha.
Thank you.
You rock!
You
I
rock.
can make you disappear for good. Yeah! Keep it up! Attack left lane! Defend middle lane! I wouldn't think of doing anything stupid if I were you. I was lava before I was cool.
Oh gosh.
They've been checking out these firearms all day. I am so hot on Tinder right now. I've been matching all day.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
The classic jokes. That is going to be Igneous.
That's
Terror.
definitely
That's
a,
gonna be part of the Odyssey with the voice pack, obviously.
It's a very
Next
interesting
up,
voice pack,
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
say.
This
Very
was so good.
interesting.
High
hype.
noon.
Yes, it's happening.
It's high
That's one of the best
noon.
card arts I've seen in a while, just because of how fun looking it is.
Damn,
It's got a story
dude.
too.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so
You got a
sick.
snapshot, you know exactly what's happening.
stagecoach.
The stagecoach.
Hands in the sky.
Well, let's go into
Oh,
the game and see what
he's
Rover the Cactus
giant
actually
cactus.
looks like in all his glory. I thought we were gonna
Man,
have something
Pond
different,
just went
but
right
yeah.
in there on the
Went
bird.
Straight in for the bird.
That
Pond always
amazing.
goes
Sharp
right in
today.
there.
And I love the way
Ooh la
Sylvan's
la.
dancing around. He's not even worried about being pricked.
Oh, no.
God, this is
He's
so
immune
cool.
to cactus spikes.
Got some
That's
yeah,
got
amazing.
heavy,
Scarring
heavy
completely.
calluses at this point.
Completely.
Oh my
well,
God.
So this skin has been kind of hanging around, potentially occurring in the pipeline forever. And this was actually way more of an effort than you would ever think.
why was it so difficult?
Just getting the guy to have the character of the concept and still work with what Sylvanas was doing, and then we didn't have any leaves, and sometimes he jumps into the leaves, and you know, it's just
he throws dynamite.
There's just a lot to it, making sure that everything fell into place for it to
He's also
out.
2 characters, right, Chuck? Like,
yes, he is throwing dynamite because this skin is dynamite, and on top of that, because his auto attacks are AoE, it kind of makes sense that it is dynamite he's throwing.
That's amazing.
Like an Incon.
It's like a little baby.
That's a good question. Why is his passive
We
not
don't
a
skin
cactus?
passive meters.
we do not, yes.
So
historically,
now his tree that he plants is a cactus. The greatest question is, why isn't there a sound when the dynamite explodes? You're gonna have to take a look at that.
Audio, guys. You know, audio is still in development. Sometimes when we come on the show, audio is not all finished yet.
It's all
so
done.
a couple audio.
Guys. Psh, get back to work.
Position here. Pom Pom, can you root your position? You'll see cactuses appear at the ground of the feet as well, just so you know they're rooted. On top of that, so a little bit of
awesome.
That's a really powerful.
Put the RT on notice. If Chuck sees something, he will call you out on screen.
He's just dragging him all the way.
Making an adaptation to this for when he pulls because he's a cactus, it will actually hurt. So
Look at that cactus.
You know,
Forest. What do you call? What do you call a group of cactuses?
I don't know actually, but I love the spiny parts mixed in there too with the cacti.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, that's like saying trees, but it's a grove of trees, right? I don't know what a...
Nice ulti con. You can't ulti the minions, you silly goose.
A grover of cacti.
A grover of cacti.
That's pretty good too.
That's what they put the show for. No, if you be quiet for a second, you can hear what he's doing during his own, because he does say different lines.
But,
of course he does.
Oh man, the dynamite looks awesome.
Boy, so good.
Give me some ultimates again.
This is a stick-up.
There it is.
Oh.
This is a stick-up. That's good.
Crazy, man. I never miss. Aces. Attack left lane. Defend middle lane.
Thank you, Grover. That was great. He just slapped his ass,
You
dude.
want to see a cactus get angry? You're all hot and no cattle. Say, Grover, does wearing boots and spurs constitute ranch dressing? I shoot my mouth off so much, I have to brush my teeth with gunpowder. Had to shoot an artist once.
Oh my god.
Looked like he was gonna draw.
He's gonna draw.
These are so dumb, I love it!
Murder joke. I love that.
Oh, nothing like
Chuck's
murdering
hard to make
artists.
this
Classic humor.
Well,
Classic
we always
humor.
do. We also like to update mastery skins alongside skins we bring out, and that's time for Sylvanas to get his mastery update treatment. And here it is in all its glory.
That's cool.
Sweet card.
So,
So
there's a
cool.
card out for it.
Yeah, great card.
And we should be able to show it in game shortly after. Well, I didn't realize he had pan pipes.
He uses those.
I
in
never realized that.
Yeah, in some of his animations on his other skins. Okay, yeah, no.
And there's a little look in
Oh,
game.
That looks sick. The legendary one probably looks super sweet.
Papa's going to show off the other versions as well for us, so you can have a little look around at each of them. Can you throw a couple of roots of the
buddy.
saplings out just to see what they actually show like on the one animation? I just want to see if they're gold or just the fans at home will ask this question as well.
I think they're
We usually just do basic attacks
would be, I was just
on
making sure.
masteries, yeah. So you see the gold.
And the demon.
We occasionally,
Projectiles.
yeah. I mean, sometimes Kraken or cats or whatever have stuff, but not in this particular case.
Sylvanas looks good in that bit.
Did you say
Grover obviously
Kraken?
looks like Grover,
Is that how it's
should be
actually
in the same
pronounced?
colours,
Because I've
but
never
Sylvanas
heard it
like
called
being
anything
skin
but
tone.
Kraken.
Oh yeah.
And I just heard the word
He's got a
Kraken.
little chart. Which is cool.
Ooh.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
Have I
that's
been
like
pronouncing it
that's
wrong my
that's
whole
for
life, or did he
diamond
just
tree.
randomly say it wrong?
Diamond splats too.
Because now I'm
And
very
following up
confused.
on this mastery, there's also the Camazot's mastery. There's going to be
Maybe it's because I'm
patch
ill,
as well.
but
Now
that's ugly as shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Looking real
kind of
fierce.
he's such a
Honestly,
cute
it is.
god, and there's
And,
other
as you can
skins.
see, I
That's
like
so
the way
ugly.
the actual tattoo.
You don't think it's Kraken? I hope it's not
They
Kraken.
actually glow in the game as well on this skin, which looks
I hope it's
fantastic.
not. The skin is so ugly. The skin is so
There's
okay.
teeth, too.
He's not nearly as cute as his other
Yeah,
skins.
Camazotz was a little tricky to goldify, because making him too gold felt really bad.
Right.
I mean, I'm not
So,
saying it's
figuring out
saying
the
it's like
pieces,
bad.
yeah.
Like it looks
It turned
cool,
out
but
really
like
cool.
his other
Basically
skins
working
can look
out
pretty
what kind of
cute.
fur he has and what fur
These
he
are like
changes
scary.
colours.
Yeah, he even has some like little gold flecks in his wing skin and stuff. So
Ooh, nice. Those dark tattoos.
Alright.
Yeah, if he was all gold, he would look like an old mastery skin, right?
Right,
so
right. So yeah, just we
like
did
the gold
some
accents.
experimenting, and
he looks like
really
fierce.
seen
You
the
know what I'm
strokes in his
saying?
wings, yeah.
He looks fierce
Diamond vision as
with
well.
this
You can
one.
see Papa's putting in for us, and Daddy glows up all the
He
time.
oh
yeah.
it's old.
Diamond belt.
I'm such an old bat. Please,
Jewelry.
Old man.
can you bring grandfather
Diamond
bat
players to get those
some
gold
dessert?
as well, by the
I
looks.
can't
Of course,
see
shrunk them
because
down.
I'm a fucking bat.
Magic.
I think the sickness is getting to me.
Oh, come on,
I'm sorry.
Hindu.
I'm having
I thought you said
goodness.
bad joke, and I was like calling yourself out.
Listen, that's all I do is just call myself out. Well, next up, you want more content? Here's some more content for you. The Smite World Championship digital
goodness.
loot pack is finally
Here it is. Oh my god, that Hades
gems
skin.
for just
Oh
50
my
gems.
god, that
You will
Hades
get
skin.
all this content, and we'll
So
go
much.
for it one
Look
by
at that
one.
Hades.
We're going to see the SWC 2017 Heroin Amateur.
I guess I'm a
SWC
Hades main
2017
now.
Hero Apollo, the
I'm a Hades
Heebie Hades, Convention 2017 Capri, SWC 2017 Ward Skin, Thunderstick Global Emote, SWC 2017 Recall Skin, one Divine Chest Roll containing a rare esports or convention skin from years past. This 1,500 gems.
1,500
And we'll
gems.
start things off with the Apollo SWC
That's so
skin.
cool, dude.
And here he is in game. But
Always
you can see
Apollo,
he has
dude.
the SWC t-shirt on, and I believe someone told me about his card art had a trophy on it as well, but I've not actually seen that just
Oh,
yet.
maybe not that one. His
And
card
he's
art
got
is
the-
a super badass, though.
Is it?
Yes.
And he's got the logo in his little wire
Classic.
attachment back there.
Apollo gets so
It's
many
just with
skins, dude.
Different
So
animations,
many.
but it is basically all to do with the Smite World Championships for this
Look
one.
at that firm
And
booty,
you can see
though.
the camera rove off as well. You're just showing, moving around a little bit. The voice pack's still the same as well, but he is part of the deal.
Hey, let's get the lightning ball.
Cherry looks
He's a
good.
Smite Chariot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Smite Chariot.
Yeah,
But
it's
we
nice,
didn't
yeah.
just want to do this for you. No. We also wanted to make sure that we could give you the ward skin, which Pompon should have ready, hopefully. Maybe not. Maybe ward skin.
Which
Maybe?
ward you got?
You have to buy a
No! No, says Bond.
We've got the ward skin and the emotes ready for you as well later on. So we've got the ward skin, the emo, and the recall effect.
No!
But we do also have another skin, the Amaterasu version, the 2017 version, with more added content on it
That's
than
funny.
the Apollo one as well. We get a chance to show that one off. We'll look at the Amaterasu one for you, which does come with, like I said, a voice pack and some cool animations.
Yeah, the Amaterasu one is
Are they stalling for something?
full deal.
So, so this kind of harkens back to the Ares SWC skin, which I just
Sure.
really love the color scheme of.
Yeah.
And I liked it so much that I definitely wanted us to use it again on the SWC skins for this
SW
year.
skis.
And I think it was a huge win,
SW
especially
skis
the
and the Kraken.
Amaterasu skin
And the Kraken.
came out really cool.
Oh, yeah. The Amaterasu skin is definitely one of the better ones here. We'll have it up momentarily for you, as well as all the other effects as well. That's why we just come out of game for a second to go through this. But this will be 1,500 gems, and you'll be able to purchase
This is
it.
pretty
and
sick.
Here is a look at that.
That's pretty
Amaterasu
cool.
right now.
Why did she
Yeah,
get
so if I have my
Does she
way,
always have a
All
floating
future
shield?
SWC skins
Will be this color.
will be this color scheme because it's just too cool.
Yeah, it's
Really
awesome.
looks good on it.
Wait,
It does, and if you actually have
Wait, does she always have something floating by her, or is this new?
Logo as well, which spins around as per usual, and that logo actually appears in some of her abilities as well, which is kind of cool and
Am I
actually
live right
really
now?
easy to read
This is
when you
pretty
apply
cool.
it to a god, or the god knows it's on him as well.
The mirror? I got
Oh,
nothing.
I love her aura.
I got nothing.
Yeah, those are cool.
I got
And these I
nothing.
like because they have clear symbolism of the effects too, like this
No
like,
recollection
damage, And
whatsoever.
then we got the nice
Whatever.
cloud.
It's all new to me.
But when she applies
Look
it,
at that. They
it's
gave her a cool
fancy.
thing right by her for this skin.
As well
Kappa 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
wow! World Championship logo as well.
Oh,
Fancy.
they
We've also
snuck
got
in for
two, which is the charger.
passive.
Ooh, I like the blue.
But look how it
shell
shakes.
effect.
I like how this symbol shakes next to her as well. The shield that she has starts to shake.
Yeah.
We shooting that logo.
It almost shakes as much as me.
Boom. Layer.
Almost. Almost.
And then we've also got the ultimate as well. You can actually see how it builds up. If you actually do it on a target, Pompon,
Yeah, come
you
on,
will
Pon.
see how the ultimate changes
Come on,
effects
Pon.
there. You saw just like 3 to the right, 1, then to the left, and then to the overall.
Yeah,
And the
like,
lightning bolts appear as you do
Oh,
charge.
that's
to
cool.
signify that it is hitting the targets.
looks great.
Cool.
But it does have a voice pack on top of that.
Yes, it
Does
does.
it?
Let's have a listen.
Oh yeah! You are a champion! I should be picked more often.
You will be, believe me. You're pretty freaking strong.
Attack left lane. Defend middle lane. This is just a warm-up for the next game.
Okay.
You don't stand a chance against my sword dance. You see this sword?
I'll take my chances.
Yeah, it means I'm going to win. Why do they call it championships? Ships can't become champions.
That was bad.
Why do
Oh,
warriors
God.
make bad businessmen? They charge a lot.
Uh-oh.
Why do warriors make bad businessmen?
Oh, yeah.
They charge a lot.
Tina was involved in this in no way.
Yeah, right. No chance.
Holy.
Not a Tina voice pack. Well,
The mirror jokes
Guys,
are
we're still looking at...
we just want to give you
okay.
those two
Oh,
skins, though.
now we're looking at
We also wanted
Kepri.
to give you this one as well, the Convention Kepri 2017 one. And he reminds me of Stained Glass.
Why are all the Kepri skins? Or the Kepri skins?
With all the colors that
Convention skins always so
Get
weird.
flamboyant.
We were looking at actually a lot of crazy colored beetles.
It's pretty
You
cool
know, actually
looking,
Beetles in real
but
life.
they're
are
always
those
just,
crazy
like,
shell coloring
kind
with
of
this-
weird.
Especially when you get the reflectivity in there too. So we were using kind of that as inspiration, and that's where this pink and blue was just a really nice.
Iridescent Fresnel effect.
Yes.
Like the
Iridescent
Anubis
Kepri.
Convention
Oh.
skin, the Kali. This one's cooler, honestly. This one's cooler than the other ones, I think,
Said she
actually.
didn't do that.
She did not do that one. Yeah, right.
Too late, she technically
That's
did.
right.
Just so you know, these all come part of
This
the
is actually a
SWC
cool...
digital
It's like a
pack.
pink
It's
highlight
1,500
almost
gems
over the character, which
when
is cool.
this patch does come out. You'll get all three of these
Pretty
skins
nice.
so far that you can see, as well as other content which we'll go through as we continue.
Thank you for
This
undealing
Kepri
this.
one is also on
pretty
side.
cool.
I'm not sure. This
Wait
one
a
doesn't
second.
come with a
Boom.
voice pack, however, but is very, very pretty in how it looks.
This one,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna have to.
Convention skins
Couldn't
per
hear
standard.
Hindi on my
No
own voice
voice
singing.
packs or other
Oh,
changes.
jump
just-
again.
And no one can hear you scream, Tina. We'll blame you for whatever we
yeah.
want.
We need you so we can blame you. It's a very
That
important.
was a little
for
bit
us.
creepy.
That's the benefit.
That was a little bit creepy.
Yeah, let's get to the best one.
Want to move on?
Yeah,
But we didn't
I'm
just
ready.
want to give you
was
those
weird.
three skins. We
No.
also wanted to give you Hades.
Yes.
Chibi.
Yes.
Chibi.
Yes,
So
this is
good.
all I
This
care
skin,
about.
I'm not even joking, is badass.
It's amazing.
I've been watching this, waiting for this to come out so I can show you all at home. I'm very excited that we can bring this skin to you now. Part of the digital loot ticket as well, alongside a few other little bits and pieces, which
Come
we'll try and
on,
get to
give it
as
to
well.
me.
But tell me more about this, Chuck.
I mean, it's cute. It's cute Hades. Look how cute he is. Look how cute his little clouds
Yes.
are.
I love the cloud. His effects are amazing.
To be clear as well, he is exactly the same size as the Hades model in game, but chibi version, so he's bigger. Is the reason for that? So
His proportions are
yeah.
chibatized.
when I first saw him,
Is that a word?
when I
Chibatized.
first saw him, I
it is
thought,
now.
is he going to be really tiny like Vermont? And I'm like, oh, that'd be really weird having to face against him. But nope, he's still giant and proud. And we can
love
he's got a great voice pack and he's got
this.
great animation too.
Yeah, we
Look
didn't
at
want to
that!
create any
Look at
gameplay
the-
confusion.
Oh
by-
my gosh.
So we made
Look
sure
at his
he was-
cloud.
He ultimately came out as the same size.
You
as
did
Hades.
make
I love those
gameplay
cloud
confusion
effects.
though. Just so you know, you
Yeah,
have
they're
made
so
gameplay
cool.
confusion because Hades is going to get played now.
I know, right? He's gonna get played a lot.
Yes, he is.
And people will realize how good he is now.
Look at
Maybe.
these effects.
This is like a glimpse of an art style almost from a different game, like a Smite that might have been. It's very cool.
the past
It
Definitely
is.
twisted
It's
it.
very
Might
different.
have been.
Smite. Oh man,
Smite.
we're on a roll with the bad jokes today.
And we're equally bearing the burden, too. It's like no one's just dropping them all.
Have you noticed that Ghost
I will
Trail is
actually
following
play
the
this god every
animation,
single game.
which is fantastic.
That's
If it
standard
hits-
for Hades skins.
Oh yeah, but still, it looks so
Oh.
good. Not gonna lie.
Run away, Odin.
There's a fear with the purple effect.
Oh,
It
now
also
the Odin
turned
bot.
out really
What did you do to Odin?
hard to chibatize characters.
Odin's
Yeah,
moonwalking.
as we learned at this point that it's hard to cheapatize characters, but it's
This
so
kid's
worth
so
it,
cool.
Chuck.
Yeah. Oh no, this skin is so fun.
Can we chibi more?
I mean, if this one does well, you know, and everybody loves it, we'll look into it.
It better do well, Chuck. 'Cause I,
Oh my god!
More. Oh, and the swirling like skulls. Oh,
Oh
Right, for a
my
second,
god,
once
the
you can hear
ghosts
the
with the
laughter.
smiling faces. I'm actually slain.
The Hebe.
There's different versions as well,
Chibis.
John. The other
oh
one's
yeah,
really good.
yeah.
One more ultimate. One more before we do the voice pack.
That's so good. That's so spooky.
Love
Ooh, 3 spooky,
Looks
5
so
me.
friendly. It's gonna be so frustrating
They are
when they
friendly
kill you.
if they're on your team. Another voice pack, please.
My
You
goodness.
can't really hold up against it.
Woohoo! Everything Everything is awesome. Oh, bravo. Yeah. Am I cool or what?
So
Attack
cool.
left lane. Defend middle lane. Give in now, and I will allow you a penniless death. I meant to say painless death. Follow me to the underworld. We have cool people. Think of the most horrible thing you can think of, and multiply it by 6, because that's me. Soul searching my entire life. I ended up finding a soulmate, but she was just so Persephone. Huh?
Wow.
He even goes, huh, in his own joke.
Yeah. He's kind of a cheeky version of his. Yo, he has a
dance?
Yeah, he's had a dance mode that's been around for a while. Let's just see the cute one dance. That'll be great.
Oh, God.
He's going to camera it for us. I have a feeling. Yeah, Pawn, you the man.
I said earlier, this will be available in the SWC Digital Loot Pack for 1,500 gems, alongside Apollo,
the dance,
as well as
him dancing to that makes it worth it all in itself, man. Forget everything else. Just him dancing is enough to slay me.
We should be bringing this to you now. The wood skin on the ground there, as you can see, in all its glory.
Very nice.
My
Did it, boys?
You want to
electric just spinning
represent?
And
look at that
the
one.
animation for you as well. That will be part of the digital loop
that's
pack.
a cool one.
This one's great.
Wow, yeah.
I really enjoy this one.
Guess where he's going? World Championship.
Or back to base.
We don't have the sound for that one, but the sound is actually a work in progress anyway, guys, just as a heads up. But there is the Thundersticks emote as well that you actually just saw.
Let's see the Thundersticks one more time.
Thundersticks.
We've been doing so much work on SWC content that we're not even done.
That's right. The thing is, Chuck, the patch isn't even out yet, so that's the main thing. This is a pre-show to the patch coming out.
It will be done.
This is like the things you bop together at like championship things.
So just a quick rundown. The other thing that was in there that we did mention was the event session. We actually just bring up that screen for the guys at home because everyone will probably still be asking exactly what you get in that. I'd like to see the overarching of everything that's involved here. So you will get in this pack for 1,500 gems. 2 SWC 2017 skins, one of Amaterasu and one of Apollo. Chibi Hades.
That's pretty good.
Capri.
It's a pretty good deal.
Skin that you just saw, the Thundersticks Global.
Say on average, the skins would be what, 400 gems each? That'd be 1,600 just for the gems plus the other stuff.
Castrol as well that will also have in it some additional things that weren't in it before, such as some of the rarer skins of the esports or convention skins from the past year. Very, very worthwhile overall. If you don't agree, you suck.
Oh, well, savage.
Damn.
Pretty much how it's going to be.
Hindu is savage, living up to his nickname.
Chat knows me. There's no reason for me to, like, beat around the bush about
I think the community knows how savage you are right now.
They know.
It's just part of it.
And you're bush beating.
And we love it.
I love beating bushes. That's just the way it is.
Eating
Well, next up,
that's where we drop that.
We're up to...
That's the end of that phrase.
We just got through skins, but it's time for our favourite part of the show, where me and Pompon bring you all the lovely stuff from the balance this week.
Yes.
Pompon, are you ready?
This is what I care about. This has been a long...
Are you ready, though, Pompon? Are you ready, Pompon?
Back there because I had to do it on a different computer that I should just do the entire balance discussion in VGS.
You could.
So you just ask me questions and I just respond in VGS.
That would actually be better than your input you normally give me to the answers.
Wow! You are just on a roll being savage today.
I am. I'm in that zone now.
You need to calm down.
Let's just go with it. It's going to be great. Okay, so starting off this patch, we're going to start with miscellaneous right about now. And it's going to be Spectator Visual Update.
Here we go.
Updating the Spectator.
Yeah, so if you are familiar with the Xbox UI, that's going to be kind of what we're transitioning towards. It's kind of unifying the broadcast, making sure we took some of the advantages we got from the Xbox UI, bringing it over to PC, so should be good.
Okay, and on top of that, we've also...
I don't know what that means, but maybe it's good.
For that. Just so you get a little look at what it will be similar to. Obviously, it's not all fleshed out right there, but a little look, if you've not seen the Xbox version of Spectator before, it's going to look a little something like that overall. And then also in miscellaneous this week, we're going to be
fine, I guess.
Initial support for Facebook in-game streaming.
Fine.
Pretty cool. So so basically when you're in game, all you have to do is hit escape, and there'll be an option that says Facebook stream right between surrender and exit game. So stream instead of surrendering or leaving.
Hold up.
Just do that instead.
Wait, what?
We put
no, they didn't.
Stream between surrender and exit game.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. It's fine.
Whose idea was that?
That's fine.
Was that your idea?
No,
it's fine. There's no problem.
No, they didn't.
It used to be fine.
Look, people aren't going to...
That's not real.
When does that happen?
Between surrender and exit game.
That's not a real thing.
To put it between. Well, Facebook streaming will be available to you. And now it's time to move on to items.
I'm very confused on if that's a thing.
We're behind schedule.
It
Items. This
I think I'm getting trolled.
Yes.
Facebook
you all
streaming?
know about it. We knew about it.
That's not a thing, is it?
Fix the issues, Pom-Pom, with people being able to proc the passive before they'd even use an ability.
Yeah, so this kind of triggered a new kind of rule set for us where what should proc on activation items. And so we just kind of figured out that trigger effects aren't going to proc it, things like Mercury charges aren't going to proc it anymore, so we've resolved a lot of those cases.
Well, the second item that's going to be changed this patch is Oni Hunter's Garb. Before we even discuss the changes, what is the reason for the changes, Pom-Pom?
So Oni Hunter's Garb is one of these items that gives a ton of magical protection. But it also goes away very quickly because it gives you like 10 per stack. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But it gives you a ton per stack. Yeah. But it also goes away from like jungle camps. It also goes away from mage basic auto attacks from like Ara in the mid lane. So we've now made it stack more. And the stacks are a little bit less worth it each one, but it actually ends up being a little bit higher in the end. There's a slight buff. Also, the protections are harder to shred and they're generated faster.
Well, here you go. It's going to have increased CCR, first of all, crowd control reduction from 15% to 20%. And also the passive now provides 10 magical protections every 6 seconds, and it's max of 5 stacks. It was previously every 10 seconds you would gain 15 magical protections, but max 3 stacks.
There we go.
So overall, an improvement to this item to bring it in line and make it more
that's
possible
interesting.
to pick it up.
Yep.
Alongside it. And then finally, we've also got Spirit Robe, but it's getting a bit of a nerf this patch, Pom-Pom.
No!
From every 15 seconds it'll occur.
I don't get to play professional anymore, so
no, that would
I don't gotta worry about it.
We're nerfing it from every 10 seconds to 15.
That's what I meant.
There we go.
Oh, they buffed it!
So flat magic protection or flat damage protection is pretty good. It's just a very good stat. And when it was happening constantly during team fights, it was often really hard to actually play against it. You get CC'd, you get this effect on you, and then by the time they CC you again, it's
no way, that is a nerf.
We want to have that window of opportunity where players can actually hit you for the full damage instead of the mitigated damage. And so we've increased the time that it takes for you to get that effect back.
Just kidding.
So, bit of a nerf to that one. We'll see how
it's
that
a nerf.
See if it brings it in line.
That was a weird string of feelings. That was a weird string of feelings.
Yeah.
Favorite god in the patch, Pom-Pom, for change?
Oh, my poor nose is wrecking me.
Let's see. Probably the one I spoiled, which is Shibalanke.
Okay, well, before we do that, we did also have one more thing that seems to have been forgotten. Bakasoro got a new dance emote for all those Bakasoro. The dance emote is available for you in this patch as well. And hopefully we can
dance, Baka, dance.
Show it in game.
Oh,
man.
It's Gordo.
Oh, shit.
Spin to win. Spin to win.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Did you do the animations for that? As in, did you actually have to do the green screen?
That's
we
my boy
motion
right
captured
there.
me. I'm actually pretty good at breakdancing.
Oh, really?
If there's a GIF floating around somewhere of my awesome dance skills at one of our charity events, so it's pretty believable.
I can imagine you actually do that. We could actually, before the end of the patch, maybe we'll bring you over here to actually demonstrate that before the end of the show.
No, it was something that was patched out in my firmware downgrade, so I can't do it anymore.
And the facial hair came back. Well, let's go straight back to Gods then. Obviously, we saw the Bakasoro dance. It's on to Chiron to start things off here, first of all.
Chiron buff?
What's the main reasons for the Chiron changes? They are buffs, but why?
Yeah, they are.
So, if we look back at Season 2, he was very, very strong. And then Season 3 kind of hit. He hit some nerfs. And the game has also changed a little bit since then. Items have come in and out. Gods have come in and out. And Chiron is currently sitting at a lower position where we'd want him to be. So we're bringing him
love
up.
Chiron, dude.
And we're going to bring him up by
reducing
the cooldown of his training exercise. It was 15 seconds. It now goes to 13. And not only that, Centaurus' ultimate, we're going to increase the projectile speed from 150 to 175. So it makes it a little bit easier to hit that now.
Yeah, we want to highlight his aspect of the kit, which is like the training exercise is a really good cleanse. It happens more often, it's more poke. And then his ultimate, it was often really hard to hit mid and long range. Players could juke it very easily. We want to bring that difference a little bit so you can hit it a little bit more easily. It's a little bit harder.
I'm not sure how much that
next up on
makes
the
it harder to dodge. I don't know.
Langshen.
I don't really know.
Yeah.
He's probably getting nerfed.
How's Langshen been doing?
Right?
Pretty good. He gets played a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Was that sarcasm, Pom-Pom?
Just a little
bit. Was that sarcasm?
A little bit of sarcasm.
You're learning. You're getting there. Well, he's going to have a small change this patch, and it's going to be to his pin. We're going to adjust the root and cripple duration. It used to go from 1.15 all the way up to 1.75. It's now going to be a flat 1.
That's a pretty decent nerf. Just a little bit of buff at the start, but overall,
pin is a very strong skill that you often level up very quickly because it's good poke, it's good control, and it's also good damage. And we want to just make sure that when he gets kind of out of the laning phase, he isn't bringing too much to the team fights in terms of that control. At 1.7
Hopefully they do
seconds, it was a
more.
little bit too much.
Hopefully
Also, we also
do
want to remove
more
the
to
variability
him.
when you're laning against him when he's ranking that up. We want to make sure that you have a consistent experience so you know that when you're going to get out of that cripple effect, especially when it comes time to being ganked, that's very important to know. And so being at 1.3 seconds, you can kind of expect when it's going to end and react more appropriately.
Well, next up on the list after Erlang Shen is also going to be Freya, and it's going to be a very similar change to Freya. There's what happened to Erlang Shen. We're going to be adjusting the banish duration. It used to be 1 scaling up to 2 seconds. It's now going to be 1.5 seconds at all ranks, but not only that, we're going to update the FX to show when banished targets will fall for you and your teammates, as well as reducing the mana cost from 75 at all ranks to 70, scaling down to 50 as you rank this ability.
Yeah, so I'm sure players who play a lot have the experience where the Freya banishes someone, and then you sit there and you're like, maybe you're raw, and you're like, when's it going to land? When's it going to land? You ult, and it turns out that was a rank 4 one. It was 1.8 seconds. It wasn't 1.2. Have fun missing. So we actually have now 1.5 seconds at all ranks, so players can actually kind of learn when they're going to land.
Because that's going to be
can
consistent all the
when
time.
They can try and execute that person who's banished. As well as there's now an effect that makes it very clear on the ground. There's actually a circle timer that goes underneath you that shows very clearly that, hey, banish is going to end right now.
Well, if you're a fan of physical hunters, you'll like the next change, because Hui is going to be getting a bit of a buff this patch. Compound, why the buff, first of all?
So Hui has kind of fallen off since we nerfed him with Mark of the Golden Crow. He used to have this combo where he could Mark of the Golden Crow, use his 1, and then that would also immediately cause the person to be stunned. Then he had 25% pen, and he could auto-attack and basically kill them. We took away a lot of that power, and we took away a lot of the duration on that. And since then, we've seen Hui players shift into more of a, they're actually using all the rest of the synergies on their kit, and so we just kind of want to highlight that, specifically with Sunbreaker.
Well, Sunbreaker is the one that's going to get changed here, and it's going to be, now slows all targets inside the area by 20% for 0.5 seconds per every hit.
Yes.
But not only that, it's also going to increase the slow on targets marked by the Golden Crow from 20% to 40%. And it's also going to increase the duration from 0.25 seconds
That's
to
huge.
0.5 seconds.
That's so annoying.
As well.
So he now has more teamfight presence, and also if he's in a 1v1 scenario, he can actually really lock that person down with a 40% slow.
Damn, dude.
Next up on the list is Carly, and these are going to be some general bug fixes for her. First of all, fix an issue where
that could be huge for Hui. That could be huge.
Passive target. And also, Carly's passive will no longer automatically switch away from a target who is disconnected.
Yeah, so this, I kind of want to focus on the second one a bit. That one was basically, if you were Kali and you picked your target, it would show who you picked to the other team, and the other person could actually disconnect very quickly and reconnect, and it would pick a whole new target. So it kind of negated the whole purpose of what we did, which we wanted Kali players to be able to pick their target. We also wanted the team to kind of have to deal with that, and they could negate it. And so after looking at various fixes that we had, the best one we came up with was we want to make sure that players don't abuse case this, and we also want to make sure Kali players don't feel like they got gypped. And so the big thing is we are going to make it so that specifically if Kali player picks someone, they disconnect, they will actually be still targeted.
Right.
So essentially the idea is that if you pick a target, they disconnect, it will stay on them. You're still in a 4v5 scenario, so it's not like they can actually abuse case this to stop you from getting your passive. So that was kind of like the best middle ground we had, because any other solution had other abuse cases that could come up.
Okay. Next up on the list is Cool Khan. A little buff for Cool Khan. I really
buffing Kukulkan.
It's all about
So Kukulkan, he is a character, especially Slipstream. We have a lot of feedback on Slipstream as this was an ability that felt lackluster. It didn't feel like it contributed to his kit. It was often expensive, so you often skip.
Holy double the movement speed, Batman!
It could help you in escape, and so we've taken a lot of that feedback and we've kind of changed how Slipstream works.
My God!
So now that instead of getting the movement speed flat for the duration, you get a ton up front and then it decays. So you move very, very fast and then it decays off slowly. So you can actually use it in react in time, and we reduce the mana cost.
So it's going to increase the Slipstream's movement speed.
That's crazy.
Scaling up to 40%.
80% at the top. Now he said it scales down, but like still.
Decays over the duration of the skill.
Ooh, zoom, zoomity, zoom.
About the same distance with this movement speed buff, but he will be much faster at the start. Seems to be the idea.
Yep.
And also the mana cost has been reduced from 85 at all ranks to 65. At all ranks as well.
Yeah, so you're more likely to actually pick this up as maybe your 4th level after you get like your rank 2 a Tornado instead of skipping it altogether, because it actually will provide you a lot of escape potential.
Next up on the list is going to be Neath as well. Now these are just some general changes. excuse me, made the weaves of Buccaneef and Scarlet Dangerfield easier to tell if they are friendly or enemy weaves.
Cool.
We've also fixed an issue where certain Neef skins were playing audio from other Neef skins.
That could
they were
get
crossing
changed
over.
up, dude.
Maybe like they were just like decided they wanted to cosplay as each other, but we fixed it.
Could we just not put the skins together into a sort of cosplay mesh? Would that be possible?
Super Sonic snack,
every time
dude.
you respawn,
Super
it's just a different
Sonic snack.
Now you're gonna get ready.
Hey, I think I see a Kukulkan.
There we
No, you
go.
don't.
Now Chuck's gonna be
Just right across your screen.
next up. Susano.
So Susano is back on the list.
No, don't buff it.
Susano is back on the radar and back on the list for this week. Pompon, we just nerfed him.
No.
What did we change?
No, he's fine.
So Susano, we took away a lot of the frustration factors that players had. Especially the instant knockup was the big one. That gave Susano a very quick control ability that often had very little counterplay associated with it, and players just felt like they'd get hit by it, they'd get comboed, and they'd die, and they didn't feel like they had a good recourse. And so when we removed that, as well as made some timing changes to abilities, we saw his frustration factor drop a lot with players, but we also saw him drop a lot in just performance in general. So we're also looking at him very closely to make sure that we bring back some of the power that we took away, and also looked at some of the things that we changed for trying to avoid frustration and see which ones actually mattered. One of the big ones we got was the pre-fire time on the one. Players didn't still feel like they could play around it too much, and it also felt really clunky for the Susano players. So we're bringing that back, we're reverting that change, and we're also doing a little bit more to the ultimate to help him have a little bit more control in fights.
So just to check, the Storm Qatar reverted the pre-fire charge from Storm Qatar's first hit from 0.4 seconds to 0.1 second, and the Typhoon now changes visual and will knock up enemies after charging for 1 second as well.
Yep. So if you're a Susano player, you can get that knock-up quicker, but you also still have a second to charge up, so that players can actually choose to react to it appropriately.
That's big.
And also we removed the clunkiness that was kind of added that players were feeling with the one.
Well, a lot of the people who love Susano hopefully will be happy with that change, and we'll keep an eye on him going forward.
He still lost a lot of damage to the one by having used the dash
Terra is next up, and that's going to be Monolith. Now, this is a good change, I feel, personally. We'll see how it does overall. Can now be destroyed by players using 3 basic abilities.
Yeah, so
attacks, I should say.
Yeah, basic attacks.
Whoa.
So if you're Terra, right, you can throw that heal out. It's a healing field for your team. Enemy team can't walk through. It's a huge zoning potential, and then can immediately turn into like a root effect and a damage field. And so enemy teams, once it was out, they kind of just had to deal with it. Now they can deal with it more appropriately by basic attacking and destroying it. So if you throw out this monolith, players can actually then attack it and get rid of it. So you have to choose, do you want to turn it to the damage field? Maybe you have to place it a little bit more conservatively.
You just aggress on Terra, never back out.
So it'll change how Terra players play and also give teams more opportunities to
play
against
against her. Don't let the team heal. Just aggress.
Are we still monitoring her, by the way, just as she goes forward? Because obviously we've seen a lot of bans towards her.
Yeah, just overall. I mean, we've seen her kind of move in and out, and seen people like really think she's really good, or people think that she's not as good, and we've seen that happen very quickly. So we're just gonna keep an eye on her and see if we want to do anything else in the future.
And the final god to be balanced in this patch is going to be Xbalanque.
Yeah.
And Xbalanque
I want to see it.
A little bit of a change for you.
I want to see it.
Because we're covering in the bottom, I apologize, but it's going to be Branching Bowler. Reduced mana cost from 8 to 16. Is now going to be 6, scaling up to 14. And we've also reduced the mana cost of his poison darts as well. It used to be 70 to 90. It's going to be 60 to 80 now instead.
So the whole goal here is just give Xbalanque a little bit more mana to play with.
They just reduce his mana cost.
Going through his mana very quickly. Like if he leaves his one on and he uses all of his ability and dumps it, he's still.
That's not a buff.
We want players who are using these intelligently to feel like they have a little bit more wiggle room to make sure that they can activate one when they want to go
That's
in.
not a
They can use their 2 and 1 a little bit more to clear the wave early on, and just give him a little bit more options there.
Awesome. And there's Xbalanque, and that's all the items.
That's it?
God balance that we're going to be seeing this patch. But that's not all we've got this patch. No.
It's not a buff at all.
Siree. We've also
There's
got
more
to come back to Fishman, AJ, and Chuck, because we're going to be going straight into discussion about Thoth. Or Fishman, is it Thoth, or is it Thoth, or is it Tooth, or...
So as best we could determine, since this is an archaic language, it should be pronounced Thoth or potentially Tote. But really, yeah. So really, no one.
He's not a
Egyptian's not a living language, so if you want to say Thoth, you want to say Toth.
I'm saying Thoth.
You go right ahead.
I say Thoth. You say Toth. Potato. Potato.
I think that's a reasonable.
You guys choose at home. Let's have a little look.
All right, let's do it. New god, baby. Tote. New god, Tote. Confirmed Tote.
Oh yeah.
Birdman he
is. He looks
pretty Birdman.
Totally awesome.
About this guy's lore.
Sure. So, Thoth is kind of Ra's right hand man.
Did you get it?
Ra has one of his eyes abandoned him. It's one of his daughters. She turns into a monstrous lion and goes and eats people and drinks their blood and causes a commotion. So Ross sends Thoth to go bring her back. And he does. She doesn't want to come back, but he kind of persuades her, and she comes back, and everybody's happy again. And so as a reward, Ross sets him up in the underworld as like his man in the underworld.
As you do in the underworld.
Evaluate people's souls when they pass into the afterlife. He also is known for having his book, which is supposed to be so powerful that if anyone reads it, they'll become one of the most powerful magicians in the world. But the stories of that are more about the trouble that befell them, because those kind of powers are meant for the gods, not mere mortals.
Well, you guys have all been reading the book for quite a while right now, and you can now play.
Yo, there's actually like shit in the book. That's so cool. There's like, he's like things going across the book.
So his passive is kind of related to his book.
Actually, before we do that, I suggest we probably should say what kind of role he's going to be going into. What are we aiming for?
That's what I thought, but if you want to talk about the passive, I'll talk about whatever
about the book, man.
you want to talk about.
The book is just too good.
Yeah. I think chat wants to hear his laugh, actually.
Oh, we'll get there.
We will in
That's
due time.
Cool, though.
In due time. We have a lot of mages in Smite, so when we make another mage in particular, obviously any new god, but when we make a mage in particular, we kind of want a unique twist. And so Thoth's role is he's kind of a long distance.
Yo, his walking animation is trippy as shit.
Low CC, and he's good because
That's actually throwing my head for a loop.
At securing objectives in particular.
Okay.
And
so. Let's go into the passive now then.
Yeah, shall we? I think it'd be a good time to talk about
that. I jumped the gun a little bit.
He's like moonwalking everywhere.
Yeah, so obviously in kind of a
like
nod to the Book of Thoth, his passive is as he's learning the weaknesses of his opponents and writing them down into his book, the dead book, if you will. He is building stacks for getting kills. Just like you would with the Book of Thoth. So if he gets 30 kills, minion, jungle monster, god, then he gets a stack of magical penetration, 4 magical penetration. He can originally only have 1 stack, but then as he gains levels, every 4 levels, he unlocks a new chapter, if you will, of another 30 kills, which can then give him another stack. So by level 17, he caps out at 20 total magical penetration.
Wow.
So it's just like
20 pen,
basically.
That's right, except it unlocks how high you can stack
as he levels. And the max he can get is 20 penetration.
That's right, which is 5 stacks.
You're going to be building stacks on this god. Stacks on stacks on stacks on stacks.
Yo, dog, I heard you like stacks.
Yes, so we put stacks on your stacks.
So you can stack while you stack.
So you can stack while you stack.
Yes.
This is what
you can actually get a stack of stacks.
Yeah, it is. It's a double stacking ability in itself. It's beautiful.
And that's without
a stack of stacks?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and get Warlocks while you're at it.
So the passive Dead Reckoning, it will give you 20 pen as you max it out over the course
I
of the
can
game.
stack my stacks. That's all I care about.
Enemy gods, killing
so many stacks.
Killing jungle buffs like Golf Fury and
so many
Fledgling,
stacks.
and also minion waves as well. So right from the beginning of the game, you can start earning penetration as you play.
That's right.
Perfect. Yeah. What's the one then?
This guy swag walk is slaying
trying to kill these gods and get your stacks.
You want to deal damage?
Sure, absolutely. Most mages do. So this is kind of somewhere in between 2 ideas we already have in the game, which is Isis's Wing Gust, where she throws out multiple projectiles, and kind of a Medusa Viper Shot, where you get to control those projectiles by using your in-hand attack. Now, the reason it's a hybrid is because it doesn't do basic attack damage.
So it's 3 shots.
It's not based on your attack speed. Yeah. It will not proc basic attack items. You just use that to control it. It replaces your basic attack. It doesn't damage towers either. But you get 3 of those to fire out. You can cast it. You have as long as you want. You can fire those whenever you need them. It will not go on cooldown until all of them have been fired. And then it also has some interactivity with his 3 when we get there.
So you tell me I can fight 2 of them at like a harpy camp and then save 1 for a fight that maybe happen afterwards.
You absolutely can.
Okay, cool.
So and they are abilities. They're controlled by the basic attack, but he is in no way a mage ADC.
That's right.
With his ability. This is ability.
And this is called Hieroglyphic Assault.
That's correct.
I mean, he does fire
hieroglyphs
and they do assault.
I'm down.
You, so
that's cool.
Makes perfect sense.
It's going to do a lot of reading and writing and creating of hieroglyphs.
So it does not proc auto attack.
Strong theme for this
actual ability.
Following up on that then, AJ, you should tell me a little bit about his second ability in this game.
Yeah, so ability 2, Evade and Punish. This is one we've been experimenting with a lot of different gods in development, but we haven't brought it to the game in a while. This is an 8-way dash. So we've tried this 8-way dash a couple times. We really found out in our testing that it works best on ranged characters. So we're like, oh, we're going to make this long-range nuker mage. This is the perfect ability for him. So he essentially has, similar to Rom, 8-way dash, and after dashing, he goes into this stance with his like scribe finger, and then he can shoot. His next left click will shoot a projectile that is going to pierce through targets, deal damage, and slow.
Oh wow! Okay. So Rama 3.
This slow is the only CC on his kit.
That's right.
Okay. No hard CC. He just has the soft CC of this slow.
No hard CC on a mage is hard to get away with.
Multiple gods?
It's going to go through all targets, minions and gods, and hit everybody in the line.
Can you hit towers with that or not? This class is an auto.
Also abilities. He is all ability based except for his basic attacks. All of these abilities work like abilities.
That's a lot of archers.
That is a lot of archers.
Oh my god, you made a mistake!
Look at all the stacks we get.
Holy crap, that was a lot. That was scary.
This is another interesting one.
So many archers.
Activate the 1 while you have the 2 active. It always fires the 2 first. So if you happen to have both, you'll shoot the 2, then you can start shooting the 1. So you can really queue up his abilities in interesting ways.
Interesting.
We'll see this twisted a little bit more here when Fish explains ability 3, which is the real kicker unique thing to this kit.
Well, at the moment, what I can tell with this pop-on, it doesn't seem very long range, which you said it was.
No. We're getting there.
So
you're not wrong, but you are wrong.
What's ability 3 then?
Okay, so ability 3 is his Glyph of Pain. This is kind of the twist, as AJ was setting me up for. So what this does, if you pass through it, if your enemies pass through it, if your allies pass through it, doesn't do anything. It's kind of a lens. If he fires his abilities through it, however, it extends their range by an additional 30. So it's 85.
God!
That's where he gets his range. Use this to set up.
Holy crap! That's a long share right there.
It affects both the dash and the projectile after.
Damn!
It affects all of the shots of his 1. It affects his ultimate.
So
go ahead.
It increases the dash range as well there?
It does. It increases the range of any
shit!
both himself
it
and allies.
The dash range!
It increases the damage of basic attacks that are fired through. Although it does not increase the range of the basic attacks. And it increases the damage on anything that are on his abilities and his basic attacks. And then as well as his allies' basic attacks.
That's so cool that it makes your dash longer.
Attacks of other teammates will not increase the range.
It will not increase the range, but it will increase their damage.
Gotcha. So it doesn't increase damage if you fire through this. So if you do see a Thoth in your team, you can abuse that situation.
So if everybody's coming up to hammer a tower,
you use your 2 to get away, you put your lens down, and then you plink at him from a safe distance.
Or if you're aggressing a tower, you put the lens.
That goes so far.
So all of your allies are essentially forced to shoot through it, and they're going to be dealing increased basic attack damage. So, yeah, increased range on abilities, increased damage on basics.
I guess we should move on then to the final thing in this God's kit. It's everything everybody always looks forward to. Is what the ultimate is going to be, and the ultimate is called AJ.
Final Judgment.
That sounds pretty scary.
Yeah, so we're sticking with this theme of this, Judger of Dead Souls. This is another one we've been wanting to do for a while. This is a true charge-up ability, which we tried a couple times in development, but haven't really got there before. But this time we really went all the way with it.
I see a problem.
As you can see, it's got a long range already.
Oh,
it's gonna get even
no! It does not go through the 3. No, it does not.
What are they saying?
Where's the CC immunity?
There is no CC immunity on
no!
How do you use that skill?
To time it, you gotta be in good position.
Holy
and the thing is,
crap.
it also does not go on cooldown unless you fire it. So you can charge it and cancel it if you don't think it's a good time or you didn't quite get your timing right. You can try
interesting.
Again. It'll only go on cooldown if you fire it. So that's why it also doesn't need CC immunity, because you can be charging it and you can get stunned out of firing it at the time you want it, and that's just gonna.
But you can also bait people with it as well, right?
You can.
Holy snipe range, Batman!
Look at him. I'm only joking.
He kind of does a yell. It's like
oh, dude, I'm just gonna start that up over and over again.
It's the judgment of the birdborn.
But as you're saying, if you put it down the 3, the Glyph of Pain, it will go even further.
Yeah, let's see that again real quick with the. So you cannot use any other abilities while charging the ultimate either.
It does go through walls.
The 1 and the 2, you can place the lens after you're already in that stance. The ultimate, however, you're locked in.
Wow.
So this one's you're locked in. The 1, 2, and 3, lots of interactions between. The ultimate, you got to set up before
That's
you fire.
crazy.
And the ultimate, it's very strong. It has a very long charge-up time.
You'll see as these light up, that's indicating how much damage it's going to do. You need to get all 3 of those corners lit up for the maximum amount of damage.
But
then
you
there's
can fire it earlier?
You can fire it early,
left, right.
and you'll see actually only the 2 in the projectile. See, that's the weakest version. Gotcha. There's actually 4 versions of this projectile.
So you can
there's just
fire
the triangle.
early.
There's 1 orb, 2 orbs, and 3.
So he really feels like an artillery mage.
Interesting.
He's going to sit on the backside and deal damage, but it does look like he's susceptible to getting caught.
That's exactly right.
So you can cancel it early.
From afar. If he gets ganked, if he gets set up on where he is now, He has very little lockdown to keep himself away. He's got the 1 escape. It doesn't go all that far unless he takes the time to set it up with his 3, which is a little bit harder to access than some of the other mages. So he does suffer if he doesn't have someone to set up for him.
Well, and that's 2 abilities you have to use to
right.
really get your full escape potential.
Definitely want to pair him with a good setup Guardian Warrior.
Obviously, we can't see the cooldowns on this right now, but I'm a little bit concerned about this. Like, the fact that the fights in Smite move so quickly across the map sometimes. That cooldown on that, what is that cooldown on the 3, obviously? Because that's very important to his kit, it seems.
Absolutely. So the other abilities have relatively standard cooldowns. His 3 is relatively low mana cost, low cooldown, since it doesn't do anything by itself. So that as the battle shifts, you can kind of adjust it to match the changing battlefield.
So it does have a lower cooldown just to allow you to replace it.
Definitely. And a long duration. It lasts for 8 seconds, and its cooldown is less than that. Specifically
the
so.
1 cooldown is only 8 seconds.
That makes sense, because otherwise he would really struggle, I feel, overall. So Artillery Mage is going to be in the game. Looks fantastic too. He does obviously come with a voice pack, so he should have a little list.
So the 3 cooldown is only 5 seconds. The 1 cooldown is 8 seconds. His 2 cooldowns like 18 seconds.
Most of his lines kind of dry, a little scholarly.
Book on victory.
When we get to his laugh, though.
I'm so scared.
We'll get to the laugh at the end.
Attack left lane. Defend middle lane.
Time to pin your name in the Book of the Dead.
Your day of judgment is at hand.
Pretty cool, wasn't
It
that?
is not wise to stand against the judge of the damned. A lover once gave me an ultimatum. Either the books go or I do. Sometimes
The other day
I
a
think
book
of
fell
her
in
when
my
I
hand.
acquire a
But
new
I have
text.
only my shelf to blame.
Oh, shelf.
Oh,
That's a good one.
My shelf. Haha.
look a
Haha.
little thinner.
Book jokes.
Second book says, thanks. I had my appendix removed.
Oh.
Oh, yep.
All right, let's laugh.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no!
It has
Send help!
We couldn't disappoint.
No.
Actual send help!
Saying, rah, 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 rah.
Oh
There's some
my
cuts in there too.
god, it's so bad.
I've just got.
I'm
listen,
gonna
I
have
don't
to
do this at
mute-
home, right? But I've just got the opinion of having Thoth in game with a Ra at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And then just for added measure, throw Rama in there as well.
Oh,
and
we
just let them
absolutely
spam.
did that in
It's a
playtests.
good thing we added that mute button for enemy laughs and taunts, right? If you, or allies, if you
My
so need to. So it's having a little
God.
too much fun.
Oh god, it's terrible.
Is this a what does the Thoth say joke? Is that what's happening
Yeah,
here?
a little bit. Yeah, maybe.
What does
No,
the
you know, we
Thoth
wanted to pair him
say?
with the bro. They're bros, and so they got the great laugh bros.
What's your favorite thing about this skin then, boys, as we go through it? Obviously, actually, we should talk to you first of all, Chuck, because we've not really mentioned
My
the design of
goodness,
this
dude,
gun
that's
whatsoever. Like, how
terrible.
difficult was he to implement in terms of art?
Well, the particular challenge of Thoth.
He
was
looks
that
freaking cool.
We have Ra, who is also an Egyptian bird god mage.
Yes.
So we had to make a large amount of very conscious decisions in order to differentiate Thoth and Ra. He also has this ibis head, which when attached to a human body, it just resulted in some really kind of bizarre looking stuff. So, you know, figuring out a design for the headdress and a color scheme that was very different from Ra, and
Pretty cool though.
giving him, you know, his whole color scheme on the character, and now we're on the skin, so it's kind of making it.
You can still discuss it because obviously it's the same sword. isn't it? But
And
it's
then the
just
trick was that, you know, generally we have our more mystic characters be floaters, but we didn't really want him to be a floater because Ra's a
Floater is a
and
weird thing to
it
call
would
it.
make them have
It's like a
two
poop in a
similar
pool,
appearance.
man. You got to float.
So, the animation guys came up with this
Yeah, that's
concept
so
of
crazy.
having him walk on this sort of hieroglyphic ground, because the slow walk really makes him look scholarly and,
Yeah.
It
and,
does.
you know,
It's crazy.
kind of pensive.
teacher-esque.
Because really, gods in Smite move at a pretty good clip, right?
They do.
So this way, we were able to give him a slow walk where he looks very methodical and well thought out.
Can we see his com walk?
Just shoot something.
Combat, then walk.
Combat
Yeah,
walk?
basic attack.
There
then
we go.
walk. Yeah, with his book out.
And it was actually a
pretty
bunch of
cool.
work between the animation guys and the effects guys to kind of get these hieroglyphs that come up magically appear under his feet as he's walking, and kind of support him. So that was kind of neat.
Now for you guys-
And actually, as it turns out, making a book with pages that turn takes a lot of bones and is really expensive and kind of a giant pain in the butt. But we really wanted to commit to it here.
Yeah, I really like what we did.
We wanted to use it as much as we could.
The hieroglyphs?
What we did with the hieroglyphs and also his like writing finger. You know, he's reading and writing a lot. So this is one thing I believe Chuck or some of the artists came up with earlier in his design, where he's like, we'll kind of have him have these like, you know, magic writing, scribing hands he could do to create his spells and stuff, and pulling things out of his book.
Pretty cool, man. He looks sick.
I think that just really.
I don't know how good it'll be, you know, until you see numbers and stuff. But like his kit seems fun as hell.
Things in midair and having
that's all that really matters, right? As long as the kit's fun, you can always change numbers or reduce them or whatever.
All of these glyphs.
That ulti's sick.
So yeah, it was neat because I really feel like the abilities and
all
the stuff that we did really came together into like a single cohesive concept, which all of the art around the character supports. So.
And I will say some of the audio is not final yet. We have some placeholders and some early versions. There's some like musical tracks on here that are not going to be playing on his final iteration.
And this is segment Scribe Thoth, by the way. This is the recolor skin that you'll be able to purchase as well during this patch. Just an additional skin for you. Why not, you know?
So many.
We gave you some options this week. Yep. Thanks, Pop. And that is all we have on the show. But do we have any Q&A today?
Yeah.
We do have time for Q&A?
Definitely. We got a couple.
We got some questions.
That's crazy. Well, the patch looks pretty sick, guys. I mean, the new god looks sweet. Wasn't really too many crazy changes. I mean, Susano's probably going to be coming back a little bit, stuff like that. But there wasn't anything too nutty. The Spirit Road nerf, like, yeah, that sucks. But, like, you're still going to need a Spirit Road because it's still good. Stuff like that. The big thing was just the new god coming out. It's going to be sick as crap. Thank you guys for watching today. Thank you all for the support. And as always, have a twitchin' day, y'all. It's the final countdown. Ba-da-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-ba-boo. Ba-da-ba-boo. The final countdown.